As the stars begin to shimmer above and the hush of night deepens, we journey now to the sacred land of ancient India, a place where the search for peace was not a luxury, but a way of life. Beneath the canopy of banyan trees and along the flowing rivers of the Ganges, generations of sages and seekers explored the mysteries of life, not through conquest or wealth, but through stillness, reflection, and surrender. In this land of breath and mantra, of ritual and rhythm, peace was not something to be found, but something to be remembered. Tonight, allow your breath to slow, your mind to soften, and your awareness to turn gently inward. Let the timeless wisdom of India's ancient practices, yoga, meditation, puja, and the teachings of Dharma guide you toward a deeper harmony. This is not just a tale of the past, it is an invitation to return to your own center, to rediscover the calm that lives within you, and to listen for the quiet whisper of the eternal that speaks through silence. As the night unfolds and the world around you grows quiet, we turn to one of the most profound sources of peace and wisdom in human history, ancient India. A land of vibrant landscapes, from the towering peaks of the Himalayas to the lush plains of the Ganges, India has long been a cradle for spiritual practices that focus on peace, harmony, and inner tranquility. The rituals of ancient India, rich in spiritual depth, have helped countless generations find inner peace by connecting with something greater than themselves, whether through the silence of meditation, the devotion of prayer, or the simplicity of living in harmony with nature. At the heart of ancient Indian spirituality lies the concept of Dharma, the moral law, the universal truth, and the path of righteousness. Dharma is the principle that guides every aspect of life, from one's duties to society to the pursuit of personal truth. Living in accordance with Dharma brings peace to the individual, for it is seen as the natural order of the universe. In ancient India, peace was not just an absence of conflict, but a deep alignment with the moral and spiritual fabric of existence itself. Perhaps one of the most tranquil and meditative practices to emerge from India is yoga. The roots of yoga extend far beyond the modern postures practiced today. Ancient Indian yoga, as outlined in the Yoga Sutras by the sage Patanjali, is a system for achieving mental, physical, and spiritual peace. The goal of yoga is not simply physical flexibility, but the union of the individual soul, Atman, with the universal soul, Brahman. Through practices such as controlled breathing, pranayama, meditation, dhyana, and disciplined actions, yoga offers a path to inner tranquility, allowing practitioners to detach from worldly distractions and connect deeply with their true self. The most fundamental aspect of yoga is meditation. Ancient Indian meditation techniques, many of which are still practiced today, focus on quieting the mind, observing one's thoughts without attachment, and attaining a state of pure awareness. In meditative stillness, the practitioner achieves a profound sense of peace that transcends ordinary experience. The ancient Indian sages believed that by silencing the mind, the individual could access the highest levels of consciousness where true peace and bliss reside. Meditation in this context is seen not only as a personal practice, but as a sacred ritual that brings one closer to the divine. Another key ritual in ancient India that nurtured peace was puja, a devotional offering to the divine. Puja is an act of reverence performed in temples, homes, and sacred spaces to honor the gods, goddesses, and divine forces that govern the universe. The process of puja involves offering flowers, incense, and food to the divine, accompanied by chanting sacred mantras and prayers. This act of devotion is a calming ritual, one that brings peace not only to the devotee, but to the entire space in which it is performed. Through the offerings and prayers, the devotee aligns themselves with the divine will, allowing for a flow of positive energy that leads to peace and harmony in life. In the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian text that remains a cornerstone of spiritual wisdom, peace is achieved through Karma Yoga, the yoga of selfless action. The Gita presents the idea that one should perform their duties without attachment to the fruits of their actions. By offering all actions to the divine, one can cultivate a state of inner peace, free from the anxiety of success or failure. The Gita teaches that the key to peace is in accepting life's impermanence and doing one's duty with love, devotion, and mindfulness without becoming attached to the outcomes. The ancient practice of Ahimsa, meaning non-violence, also plays a central role in cultivating peace. This principle, which was famously embraced by figures such as Mahatma Gandhi, stems from the teachings of the ancient Indian sages. Ahimsa is the practice of causing no harm, whether through words, actions, or thoughts, and is rooted in the understanding that all life is sacred. By practicing nonviolence, both toward others and oneself, one cultivates an atmosphere of peace. This extends not only to human interactions, but also to the way one relates to the natural world, encouraging compassion and empathy toward all living beings. The wisdom of Vedanta, an ancient Indian philosophy that explores the nature of reality and the self, offers yet another path to peace. According to Vedanta, the ultimate goal of life is to realize the oneness of the individual soul, Atman, with the universal consciousness, Brahman. This realization, known as moksha, is the state of liberation from the cycle of birth and death, and it is considered the highest form of peace in Indian philosophy. Vedanta teaches that the world is an illusion, Maya, and that true peace can only be found when one transcends the limitations of the ego and recognizes their true, eternal nature. The tranquil practices of ancient India remind us that peace is not a fleeting emotion or a temporary state. It is a way of being that is cultivated through discipline, devotion, and deep self-awareness. In a world that often pulls us in multiple directions, the ancient Indian teachings invite us to turn inward, to focus on our breath, to engage in acts of kindness, and to live in harmony with the greater flow of the universe. Peace, as the ancients understood it, is not an external condition, but a deep inner alignment with the universal truths of existence. As you reflect on these ancient Indian practices, take a moment to consider how they might influence your own path to peace. Could a practice of meditation or mindfulness help you find stillness amid the noise of everyday life? How might living with the principle of Ahimsa, nonviolence, bring more tranquility to your interactions with others and yourself? Perhaps, like the ancient Indian sages, you can find peace not in the pursuit of worldly success, but in the stillness of your own heart, in the recognition that you are part of something far greater than yourself. In the quiet of the night, allow the peaceful rituals and philosophies of ancient India to gently settle into your consciousness. As you breathe deeply, feel the calm that comes from connecting with these ancient teachings, knowing that the peace they offer is not distant or unattainable, but always within your reach. And now, as the echoes of ancient wisdom settle gently in your mind, may the stillness you found here guide you, even as you rest. Let the virtues of balance, harmony, and reflection carry you into a night of deep peace. Thank you for joining this journey. This has been Tranquil Sleep Histories. Sleep well